Local, late breaking. This is Channel 2 Action News at 6 p.m. Coverage you can count on.
Doctors and pharmacists are in jail tonight after federal and state officials conducted one of the largest clinic raids in state history. Good evening, I'm Grace Jordan.
And I'm Lauren Towers. Authorities arrested 12 people in connection with today's raid. New at 6, Channel 2's Molly Lunday was there and is live in the newsroom with the details. Molly?
Federal agents and local police departments swarmed the Atlanta Counseling and Recovery Clinic earlier today. The clinic was one of many stops made by authorities. 19 different locations were hit just today. 3 employees of the Atlanta Counseling and Recovery Clinic left work in handcuffs earlier today. After a year-long investigation, this clinic, 6 Metro Atlanta pharmacies, and several homes were served criminal search warrants. DEA Special Agent James Martinez says clinic patients cross multiple state lines to get their pills from this Atlanta clinic.
It's a clinic that we've identified to serve as a pill mill where patients from out of state travel from Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, among other states, specifically to come here to get their narcotic prescriptions.
One of the clinic's doctors, Edward Walker, had only been at work a few hours.
I got here at 10 o'clock this morning, and I'm through.
With a waiting room full of patients, the owner, the clinic's main physician, and their psychologist were arrested.
Make absolutely no bones about it, Georgia is the epicenter of the pill mill pain clinic issue.
12 people from 7 different counties were arrested today. Now, authorities told me that they are cracking down on these suspected pill mills. This is just the first of many raids. 90 mills across the state are currently under investigation. Live in the newsroom, Molly Lunday, Channel 2 Action News.
We have more details on the clinic raids. Authorities have charged 12 people under Georgia's RICO statute. The investigation started with a planned clinic in Chamblee. The CDC says prescription painkillers kill more Americans than cocaine and heroin combined.
Happening now in Gwinnett County Road is closed because of a water main break. News Chopper 2 flew over Main Street in Lilburn. Crews hope to have the main fixed and reopen the road by 6 to 9. For now, a detour route is in place around the area.
Occupy Atlanta's move to the suburbs is over. The group says it now plans to leave the home and family was trying to save from foreclosure. Karen Edwards is here with more on who is now stepping in to help.
Overnight, we waited and watched to see if marshals showed up to evict a Gwinnett County family from their home. The Occupy Atlanta protesters are still there, but the question now is, how much longer will they stay?
With tents still pitched and signs still posted, things may look the same outside this Snellville home, but the Occupy Atlanta organizer tells me the goals here have shifted.
Our goal today is not only continue to occupy the space, to make sure that when the sheriff shows up to execute the eviction, that our bodies will stop that from happening, but also is to organize this community.
Tim Franzen says Monday night, Occupy Atlanta canvassed this neighborhood, rallied neighbors, and then had a meeting with those neighbors.
And they're figuring out ways right now that they can take over this space once we leave.
Those neighbors are forming a spin-off group called Occupy Gwinnett. I spoke with Debbie Storm, who says she's now one of the Occupy Gwinnett organizers.
It doesn't make sense not to help your neighbor, and your neighbor could be 100 miles away.
Franzen says Occupy Atlanta will move on to help other families like the Rorys who live here and are facing what they say is an unfair foreclosure.
These banks can't pull everybody out of their homes if people in the community won't let it happen.
He says the Rorys will have full support if and when marshals show up to evict them, even if Occupy Atlanta is not here.
When we leave this space, we will be leaving Occupy Gwinnett in charge of this occupation and hopefully other foreclosed homes in this community.
Occupy Gwinnett protesters say they're doing everything they can to help the family legally fight the foreclosure, but they do realize it's an uphill battle. Karen Edwards, Channel 2 Action News.
Just in the last hour, police have new developments in Gwinnett County murder investigation. Police are looking for 17-year-old Brandon Prasad. They say he is armed and dangerous. Police believe he shot and killed Jose Alfaro late Monday night inside a house in Simonton Ridge Trail in unincorporated Lawrenceville.
The victim of a scooter accident is asking the man who hit him to turn himself in. Channel 2's Sana Sayani spoke with the victim this morning to see how he was recovering. She's live in the Satellite News Center with new developments. Sana?
Yes, Grace, the victim of the hit and run met with me at the site of the accident. He wanted to see if he remembered anything that would help the authorities catch the man who did this.
Feaster Allen became the victim of a hit and run on the morning of October 6th. Police say his scooter was run over by a silver Pontiac Trans Am at the intersection of Metropolitan Parkway and Dill Avenue.
I'm glad to be alive. Thank you. Definitely.
Witnesses claimed the scooter was dragged under the car until it burst into flames.
I thought he was going to try to get out of the car, but he didn't. He backed the car up and got the scooter from underneath the car, which was on fire at the time, and he took off.
Despite being back on the scene, Allen claims he cannot remember what happened.
I have no memory, Once again, at 1 o'clock in the morning, there's no traffic out here. And it's just hard to believe that it happened to me.
Allen has had to undergo multiple surgeries, resulting in 18 staples in his head, stitches on his lip, and plates in his pelvis. He claims that he has had to rely on his wife and daughter's help to complete day-to-day activities.
It's a struggle to get out of bed, even the struggle to take a shower.
The Allens are hoping the man that caused this will come forward so they can get some closure.
I want to know what actually occurred, but I forgive him.
Allen's wife, Krista, said she bought him the scooter as a present just 2 weeks before the accident. She says that her faith in God will help them get through this.
He'll heal. He'll heal the wounds.
Now, the Allens did tell me they did not want to press charges, but just want to know who did this and how it exactly happened. Live in the Satellite News Center, Sana Sayani, Channel 2 Action News.
Presidential candidate Herman Cain was back home today for the first time since sexual harassment allegations surfaced. Cain spoke to a group of young Republicans this afternoon promoting his 999 plan, criticizing President Obama. He was a big crowd pleaser to the young Republicans.
Herman Cain seems to say, well, listen, not only am I going to explain what needs to be done, I'm going to clarify it and make it so that you understand it. Because like he said, if you don't understand something, you're not going to support it.
Despite the allegations, Cain is holding strong in the polls. From here, Cain is heading to South Carolina for another Republican debate.
A 22-year-old who shot and killed a man over his car rims was sentenced to life plus 40 today. New at 6, Channel 2's Technisha Day spoke with the victim's brother. She is live in the newsroom with details. Technisha?
In 2006, Dominique Stacy shot Andrew Gibbs in front of a public supermarket. I was in court today when the judge sentenced Stacy to where he would never walk the streets again. It appears Stacy had no remorse towards the victim's family.
Life plus 40. It feels good.
Chris is happy for the verdict of 22-year-old Dominique Stacy, but felt no remorse from the defendant while in court.
I kill an ant and I feel sorry. I feel bad, and this guy can shoot somebody and have no sympathy.
Prosecutors say the altercation was over car rims. Stacy and his co-defendant, Joseph Dado, set up Gibbet to steal his 22-inch car rims in November 2006.
Almost at the point where you don't even want to ride clean, man. A lot of haters out here, man.
The defendants met Gibby in the back of Publix in Lovejoy, where Stacy opened fire and killed Gibby and injured his passenger, Daniel Smith. Chris says his brother was an awesome person and had so much going for him.
A homecoming king, just top notch, man.
When the judge asked Stacy if he had anything to say, he said nothing. Live in the newsroom, Technisha Day, Channel 2 Action News.
Police in North Georgia think a man is responsible for at least 2 armed robberies. Police emailed us surveillance pictures from the first robbery in Blue Ridge. Investigators say the man robbed a Marathon gas station at gunpoint just after 4 p.m. October 23rd. He then left in a 4-door car. Just 3 hours later, Canton police believe the same man robbed the Sitco Sankeys on Riverstone Parkway. Security pictures show him in the same clothes as the Blue Ridge robbery. This time, police say he left in a tan SUV. If you have any more information on either robbery, contact Canton Police.
Cool temperatures and clear skies outside for your evening. Not sure if that'll be the case for your weekend coming up.
After years of complaints, the state of Georgia is updating its flood maps. We'll tell you if you may be living in a flood zone.
Plus, a man is finally out of jail after serving 100 days, more than he was supposed to, the error that kept him locked up.
And a beating at Westlake High School left one student seriously injured. How Facebook posts may be helping police catch the people that was responsible. Next.
New at 6, we have the response from the Fulton County school system to several students' Facebook posts threatening others after an attack at Westlake High School last week. Channel 2's Grace Jordan is live in the Satellite News Center after talking to school officials about the posts. Grace?
Yes, Molly, I have those disturbing Facebook posts in my hand from students posting threats to other students to make statements on the suspect's behalf. I spent the day translating pages of Facebook posts from students and had to remove numerous amounts of offensive language. However, the students' threats makes it clear that they want statements changed on the suspect's behalf. This student who does not attend Westlake High School posted this statement on his page. Y'all better make them statements for my boy before I visit Westlake and piece some people up. I swear on my brother's life. Another student's profile, they are asking for a statement as well as telling them to spread the word to other students to delete their Facebook posts about the attack. Tell her to write a statement and tell everyone to delete their pictures and all of that because it is on the news saying they on Facebook bragging. The Fulton County school system is now looking into the posts and say that the safety of the students is important to them.
Safety of our students, of course, is of utmost importance. We've seen a couple of emails. We need to verify information.
They are now asking the public if they see any posts of this nature to report it immediately.
Some of the Facebooks, if they're seeing that, send it to our school police.
The Fulton County school system has added extra security at Westlake High School as a result of Channel 2 bringing the Facebook posts to their attention. Reporting in the newsroom, Grace Jordan, Channel 2 Action News.
Now to breaking news. A DeKalb County apartment complex is on fire on Toaston Lane in the Stone Mountain area. About 20 minutes ago, we saw flames inside the units and smoke rising from the building. It appears at least 10 units are damaged or destroyed, but firefighters have made a lot of progress. We'll keep you posted.
Metro area officials are coming up with a plan just in case we get hit with another historic ice storm. In January, snow and ice crippled our area. Now dozens of local governments are working with the State Department of Transportation to improve their response to winter weather. Officials shared the ideas at a meeting in Douglasville today.
Focus on communications today. We're showing some new equipment and just going over our web-based system for communications.
The city of Alpharetta has already decided to use salt instead of sand to thaw the roads.
The lawyer for an Iraqi war vet said he spent 100 days in prison he shouldn't have. After a clerical mistake, someone failed to check a box on a piece of paper. Lauren Towers spoke with the man this afternoon. She has details from downtown Atlanta.
It all started when a court official failed to mark this credit for time check on this sheet and caused a man to serve 100 extra days in prison.
Gave me an emergency release after 100 days extra in prison.
Andrew Rick Evans says he served in the Army 14 years, 3 in Iraq, but that he wound up serving 100 days in prison that he should not have because of a clerical error.
When he came to me, he said, when I took the plea, the judge told me I needed to pay for my mistake, and I paid for it. And I accepted that, and now they've made a mistake.
Evans says after his medical discharge from the Army, he had trouble adjusting.
I think I was in a straight culture shock.
And wound up pleading guilty to burglary, aggravated assault, and more in return for a sentence of 18 months in prison, 13 and a half years probation. His new lawyer, Ashley Merchant, says this is the original sentence sheet, and that box right there, credit for time served, should have been checked. She says more than a year and a half later it was on an amended sentence sheet. But she says by that time in November 2010, he'd served many weeks more than he should have. Chief Judge Cynthia Wright says if a court worker did not check the right box, that shouldn't have happened. But it's immaterial. The responsibility to calculate time served ultimately rests with the State Department of Corrections by law, and the defendant should automatically get it.
I just put it in the hands of Almighty, I believe.
Evans says he's filed complaint after complaint until someone in the system must have seen something and fixed it. Rick Evans says he's not bitter since his November 30th, 2010 release. In fact, he started a nonprofit faith-based organization for released prisoners. In downtown Atlanta, Lauren Towers, Channel 2 Action News.
Over a dozen people are now behind bars after a College Park prostitution sting. Officers made their arrest at this hotel near National Highway. Police say these individuals came to this location after soliciting 2 undercover officers or meeting them online. Officers received numerous complaints from nearby businesses and residents about the illicit activity in this area. The suspects denied any wrongdoing.
When a Forsyth County realtor began cleaning out a foreclosed home, he got a big surprise. Records and medals, including a Purple Heart belonging to a Vietnam veteran, were found abandoned in a home in Dawsonville. Papers indicate the items belong to Staff Sergeant Angel Saez Ramirez. Ramirez was killed in Vietnam 40 years ago. The head of a local VFW is looking for his family. If you think you could help find his family, we have information at WSBTV.com.
Police arrested a woman for stealing foreclosed homes. How she managed to get away with the scheme for over a year.
Plus, thousands of homeowners in the metro area may soon be living in the flood zone. What this means for you.
Cold front left us with cool temperatures today. I'll show you how low it will get tonight and if there's a warming trend for your weekend next.
After major flooding in 2009, many homeowners were left with flooded homes but no flood insurance. Now the state has decided to make a change to the flood plan maps. Channel 2's Candace Cameras is in the newsroom with the effect this will have on homeowners.
The state is redrawing floodplain maps. Some people will move into the flood zones and may not even know it. The change will affect hundreds, if not thousands, of homeowners in the metro Atlanta area.
Nancy Creek may be quiet and peaceful now, but in 2009, it was one of many metro waterways that flooded its banks, threatening countless homes.
That was pretty bad. I mean, it was pretty bad.
The creek is just a dozen yards from Leslie Lard Boring's Sandy Springs home. It did not flood her home in 2009, but it got fairly close.
There are two creeks that actually merged right behind our house. We would be the worst ones impacted if and when a really major flood ever came through.
For years, people complained that the state's floodplain maps were outdated. So with the data from the floods of 2009, the state is now making major changes.
The state has done that and taken a real close look, and there's going to be a lot of jarring changes as a result.
Atlanta City Councilman Howard Shook says the impact to local homeowners will be major. Not to mention what a floodplain designation could do to your ability to sell your home.
As for that flood insurance, for a home of about $300,000, flood insurance will